There are more than 400,000 NCAA student athletes. NCAA on campus is their story.
Hi everyone, I'm Stacey Pates and welcome to NCAA on Campus. This show tells the stories of men and women who fully embody the term student athlete, excelling on the field and in the classroom. Today's subject is about a miler named Miles. He's a multiple-time All-America runner, a two-time NCAA champion, and an NCAA record holder. But what Brigham Young University's Miles Batty does in the classroom is equally outstanding. He has a 3.95 GPA as a neuroscience and exercise science major. All of those accomplishments earned Miles the title of Academic All-America of the Year. And just a few weeks ago, Miles was named one of the just two recipients of the NCAA's Walter Byers Postgraduate Scholarship, a renewable grant of $24,000. For our story from the mountains of Utah, here is runner Ryan Waite.
Thanks, Stacy, and welcome to Provo, Utah, home of the Cougars, BYU, or as we like to call it, the Y. Our school is one of America's great universities, and certainly one that is unique. We are owned and operated by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, better known as the Mormon Church. This is the third largest private university in the country and the nation's largest religious university. Almost 98% of the 34,000 students here are LDS church members, and 70% of our tuition is funded by the church. Many of our students take a hiatus in their studies to serve for up to 2 years as missionaries. And of course, there is our honor code that all students sign as part of the application process. The honor code is our commitment to honesty and chastity, respecting others, using clean language, and avoiding tea, coffee, substance abuse, tobacco, and alcohol. See, I told you this was a unique place, and we students wouldn't want it any other way. Our alumni include Napoleon Dynamite himself, John Heater, the author of the Twilight series, Stephanie Meyer, Football Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young, and oh yeah, the Republican candidate for the presidency of the United States, Mitt Romney. On Campus is here today in Provo to introduce you to a brilliant student and the fastest indoor miler in the history of the NCAA, the appropriately named Miles Batty.
I think the thing that makes Miles Batty a great middle distance runner is he has some very nice endurance that you can see when he runs cross country, but he's also got that combination of distance and speed. Then the other thing that is crucial for a middle distance runner is you've got to have be savvy race-wise, and that's something that I can't take any credit for because he kind of came that way. He just knows how to race, knows how to position himself in races.
In the middle distance races, especially the 1500 and the mile indoors, strategy is very important. Lots of times it's not so much about how fast you can go, but especially in the middle of a race, you have to make sure you're in a good position. If you're at the back of the pack or you're boxed in, you may be able to go faster, but you're not going to be able to because someone's going to be in your way.
The smarts Miles displays on the track are evident in the classroom. He has a 3.93 GPA and is a double major in neuroscience and exercise science. And he's earned his good grades the old-fashioned way, by cramming.
I feel like I'm somewhat of a procrastinator. I don't really have a regular study schedule. It's mostly just cramming before tests. But I feel like for me it's not so much about time management as it is just about committing myself to excellence in both aspects of my life. I feel like when I've done well, it's because I told myself I wanted to do well. And by committing myself to that, I'm able to just do whatever's necessary to get there.
Miles was planning to enroll in med school right after graduation, but his success on the track may put those plans on hold.
The more I've accomplished some of my goals in college, the more I've realized that I don't think I've reached my potential yet. But I feel like I would be filled with regret a lot, wondering what I could have accomplished. So I would like to be able to find out what is possible, what I am capable of, especially without having the school aspect involved. I feel like I've never been able to commit myself to my training 100%, never been able to get the sleep I need or eat as healthy as I should. So I'm really looking forward to being able to concentrate on athletics and see what I'm capable of before I move on to the other part of my life.
Before Miles won his NCAA championships and earned his multiple All-America honors, he interrupted his studies at BYU to serve as a missionary for 2 years in Brazil.
The main city was called Belém, just on the mouth of the Amazon. For those 2 years, you're just basically teaching and preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's our only objective, our only goal during those 2 years. So nothing athletic or even academic is occurring. You're just helping people. I didn't have access to a washer or dryer or anything for the entire 2 years. I was just scrubbing all my clothes by hand every week when I needed to wash them. Never had a warm or hot shower. Basically my shower was just water coming out of a pipe in the wall, but that's normal. When you're amongst those people, it's normal, and it became normal to me as well. I think it really helped me to mature emotionally, mentally, and I really learned about how to set goals and just work towards them, to be determined for something and really work as hard as you can towards something. And I've noticed since I've been home, just kind of my drive's been different. I think that's really helped me to not be satisfied with being mediocre, but really want to be the best.
Miles is the best, the fastest miler in NCAA history. It happened this winter at the storied Millrose Games in New York City. While Miles was running in New York, his coach and teammates finished competing at a meet, then watched via the internet from 3,000 miles away in Seattle.
So I took a picture and then I went, wait, well, why don't I shoot a video of this? And this could be really fun. The video was completely horrendous. I mean, shooting the ceiling half the time, the floor, the closet. But you get a feel as you watch that, just the level of enthusiasm and the level of support that these teammates really had for Miles when we realized that he has a chance to get the record. All pandemonium breaks loose, and when he actually crosses the line and has got the record, the phone is actually knocked out of my hand, ends up on one of the beds. There's a 20-man dog pile on top of the phone, and then a bunch of shouting and screaming and chanting in Miles' name. So it was great. And in hindsight, I'm glad I was able to experience it with the 20 rather than there with the 1, because I was able to really kind of see the definition of the word team.
3:54.54 was the time that I ran at the Wanamaker Mile. The biggest feeling I had crossing the finish line and knowing that I had gotten the record was mostly just a feeling of relief, knowing that I had accomplished something that I was capable of. But then it just set in that I hold the record. I've done this faster than anyone else, and the more I thought about that, the better it felt.
Next up for Miles, competing for a spot on the 2012 U.S. Olympic team. He knows it will be tough, but Miles Batty has the smarts to make it an interesting run. Good luck, Miles. Each year, the NCAA Silver Anniversary Award recognizes student athletes from 25 years ago who have continued to make a difference. Let's take a look back. It's time now for an NCAA Retro.
Amy Privet Perko graduated summa cum laude and Phi Beta Kappa from Wake Forest University in 1987 with a degree in history, which is quite fitting since she herself has made so much history. A 3-time academic All-America, 2-time All-ACC, among the top 10 at Wake in points, rebounds, steals, and assists, Amy is a member of the Wake Forest Hall of Fame and the COSIDA Academic All-America Hall of Fame. Since 2005, she's been the executive director of the Knight Commission, which for 20 years has emphasized the college in college sports. Amy is also active as an advocate for early childhood development and education.
Basketball has been a really important part of my life. First started playing basketball. My older sister had tried out for the basketball team, and she had her parents put up a goal, and unfortunately she got cut, but she did teach me how to shoot a layup, and so that led to bigger and better things. Pretty early on, I set a goal that I did want to play college basketball. So my experience at Wake Forest, again, was a great experience in which I felt that I was given an opportunity and provided with an environment that placed a priority on the academic achievement and providing those opportunities for me as a student. One of the most memorable games certainly was hitting a last-second shot to beat Duke in the ACC tournament. The Duke coach, who was Debbie Leonard at the time, came up to me afterwards and she said, congratulations, that was a great shot and it's a memory you'll never forget. And she's right. My experience has inspired me to remain involved because I think sports can be such a profound developmental experience. Certainly the work that I've been involved with the Knight Commission is all about achieving that balance of academics and athletics. I want that similar opportunity for all athletes coming into any university where they can achieve both and feel like they've been given that right environment that helps to facilitate that. Giving back is important to me in terms of again, the gifts you've been given, and to be able to then as an adult teach those to kids and teach in a way that you think will help them not to develop necessarily as college basketball players, but to teach them that they can improve with practice, that they can accomplish certain goals. You know, when you coach young girls, you see their enthusiasm, you see their passion and the fun, you know, so certainly it brings back great memories when you stay involved as a teacher and coach.
That is all for this episode of On Campus. You can see more stories about NCAA student athletes at ncaa.com. Thank you for watching, and remember to make the most of your time on campus.